Economic Forum and its plans, Schwab announces, of all things, not only that he wants to, put implant chips on people's heads. He's been talking about that for a while in his book, but to now get involved in children's education, which is nothing new. He's been on it for a while, but now he announces that the educational system is something that he really wants to push. Educational system really wants to push into the kids and to really get them to know technology and get them to know, the metaverse and all these things. And it's quite interesting because one of the things he talked about is how to get answers to the world's problems and questions that children have through them. And I thought it was interesting, and then I'll take this side and you can talk about it if you want after the side, there's no mention of families or parents. There's no mention of obviously churches or religion or anything like that. But the point is children need to get their truth from them. They're the ones who are going to institute truth into our kids through the educational system, that teachers are more important than parents, meaning that children do not have to go to their parents to find answers. They can go to them, they can go to Google, and of course they can go to the metaverse to find the answers. So the educational system, massive brainwashing. Jacob, your thoughts? Schwab just keeps pushing the envelope. Then we'll go to David, and then we can comment on that.
I preface anything I ever say about Schwab in a way I think everyone should. I take the film clip of him calling upon Ping of China, the dictator, who's got over 1 million Uyghurs in prison, slave labor, who's running an economy that's the world's biggest polluter, if you want to talk about carbon emissions and greenhouse gases. If you consider that he's really green, why is he asking the same person human rights abuses, unspeakably, rape of the environment in China, of all people, this enemy of democracy and freedom, lockdowns of whole cities? Why would Schwab ask him to lead this new, essentially, world order? Why would Schwab be asking a deranged, evil dictator who's got 1 million people in prison camps because of their religio-ethnic background? Why? The world's biggest polluter. Why an overt enemy of democracy? Why would you ask him, a man who has taken Chinese industries, usurped them for being instruments of the party on everything from TikTok to Huawei, in order to create a global espionage network, an electronic espionage network? Everybody knows he's doing it. Everybody. Now, I'm not saying that Western corporations and Silicon Valley are not in bed with the CIA and FBI either, but nothing on the scale of China. This man's an enemy of democracy. He's an enemy of the environment. He's an enemy of human rights. He's made a complete mess of the Chinese economy. And now Schwab wants him to be our leader. That should say all that needs to be said about Schwab.
David, what are your thoughts?
Well, these people are openly talking about being gods, and they're repeating the lie from the garden.
Yes.
And from Genesis, and they're going to die in their sins. But the problem is that since their father is the devil, their whole plan is pretty simple: kill, steal, and destroy the human race. And they have all these economic very rich people buying into this and getting on the program. They've infiltrated not only the leaders of many countries, but also their minister positions underneath them, and the cabinets and all this. So they have all these powerful people all buying into this plan, and this is just, it's falling into place. But we know who is really the one behind the throne of Schwab and all that, and all these people, and they're going to die in their sins. but unfortunately, they're going to cause a lot of pain, a lot of destruction to the whole world
Yeah, in the process,
in the
That's what.
process. Yes.
Can you believe that they're actually, I mean, they're outright saying, we want your kids. I mean, without any hesitation, we want your kids. We want to teach your kids. We want to get involved. And of course, Harari had that book that is one of several books that he's going to come out with, Unstoppable Us. Of all people, Harari, they call him the prophet. Literally, they do call him the prophet. I call him a false prophet, but the prophet has books about Unstoppable Us, teaching kids about marriage, about gay rights, about all these things. It's unbelievable. I have little kids, and that just, to me, it's unfathomable to think that they've gone this far. But they don't put anything past evil. Evil will do the most unthinkable things. You know, think about Jacob's. His kids are growing up with his grandson. It's just, Jay, what do you think?
I mean, are we really surprised? I mean, Harari goes along with the agenda that they're pushing. We're there's too many of us. We're chaotic because there's so many human beings. Therefore, we need to control the population. And how do we do that? Well, the kids need to be taught, open thinking, expansive thinking, thinking that allows them to, explore every aspect of their life, intellectually and sensually. So of course they're coming after the kids. It goes along with their agenda. I'm just very curious, since we have this issue where we're seeing China with these, expanded numbers of casualties from COVID, has any reporter asked Klaus Schwab, do you still feel that China did such a great job with their lockdowns? Has any reporter, has any journalist out there asked that question? And if not, why? That seems like journalism 101. Follow up.
You would think, right? You would think that there would be, hundreds of reporters to do it, but I guess maybe they don't want to disappear